If you're trading a funded account and you don't know how many contracts to take before you enter, then you're more than likely gambling, and here's how to fix it. Most traders on funded accounts just pick a random number of contracts to enter on any given day. Sometimes they'll start off with three, sometimes they'll increase it to eight, sometimes they'll go down, but there's no system behind it and there's no mathematics behind it. That's how you blow a funded account. It's not because you don't know how to trade, but it's because you're sizing incorrectly. The rule that I follow is that I never risk more than 1 to 2% of my current account value. So let's just say you're trading a 25K funded account. You shouldn't be risking more than 1 to 2%, so that would be $250 to $500. Let's just say you're trading a 50K funded account. You shouldn't be risking more than 1 to 2%, so that would be $500 to $1,000. For a 100K account, the risk should be $1,000 to $2,000, and for a 150K account, 1 to 2% would be $1,500 to $3,000. But here's what most people miss. I'm not risking based on what I started off with, it's based on my current account value. So let's just say I was trading a 50K funded account and it drops to 48K. Then 1 to 2% of that 48K would be $480 to $960. Remember, a majority of these funded accounts have a maximum drawdown. So, the closer you get to that drawdown, you don't want to be risking more. You want to be risking accordingly to what your current account value is. Now, let's look at an example trade. So for this example trade, we're going to be looking at micro S&P 500. So for this example trade, we have a 10-point stop loss. And with this example trade, we're also assuming that you have a 50K funded account. So with the micro S&P 500, every point, whether it's up or down, is worth $5. So with a 10-point stop loss, that means that is $50 per contract. If we can risk $500, remember that is 1% of a 50K funded account. You take your risk and you divide it by your stop, so that would be 500 divided by 50. And then now you can calculate how many contracts you can enter with a specific trade. So for this specific trade, for our maximum risk of $500, we can enter with 10 contracts. So every morning before you start trading, you should always ask yourself 3 questions. What is 1 to 2% of my current account balance? Remember, you don't want to risk more than 1 to 2%. What is my stop in points? And how many contracts does that math give me? If you stick to that 1 to 2% rule and ask yourself these 3 questions every morning, then trust me, your funded account will survive long enough for you to get paid.